to Vuka Online News at this hour. A suspect has been identified in the murder of Warwick DJ Wallace Stock. He was outshot outside the Zambezi house in Johannesburg on Tuesday. The JMPD raided the 8-story apartment building on Thursday night and took 4 people in for questioning. Wallace had previously applied for protection orders against several tenants. National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemola says the suspect will be arrested before Monday. The South African Municipal Workers Union National Medical Scheme, SAMUMED, has been temporarily barred from removing Melomed facilities from its list of healthcare providers in a ruling delivered by the South Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg on Friday. The judgment comes after SAMUMED's negotiations with National Hospital Network, which includes the Melomed group, reached a deadlock. SAMUMED had indicated that its agreement with the NHN, which commenced in January 2021, had expired, and it excluded the Melomed Gatesville and Mitchells Plain hospitals. Speaking at the time, SAMUMED's principal office, Francina Mso, said the union could not reach a mutual agreement with the NHN, and as a result reached out to the Melomed group to allow their facilities, most frequented by members as filler hospitals in the union's network, but again not reach an agreement. SAMUMED has been interdicted pending final determination of Part B of the application. Minister of Electricity and Energy Kgosientsho Ramokgopa has unveiled ambitious plans to eliminate load reduction by 2027. This announcement comes as a response to escalating concerns over load shedding impacts and the need for infrastructure protection amid growing illegal electricity connections and meter tampering. Answering parliamentary queries posed by MPs in Parliament, Ramokgopa clarified that while Eskom has recently suspended load shedding, temporary load reductions remain in effect during peak hours in certain high-density areas. He emphasized that these measures are essential to prevent equipment overload and safeguard public safety. He was responding to Meleham, who asked the reasons Eskom enforced the discontinuation of electricity supply, known as the load reduction in major high-density areas between April and June, despite the widely publicized suspension of load shedding. Ramokgopa outlined steps Eskom was taking, saying the strategy was tackling illegal connections and to work with local authorities and other affected departments to incorporate informal settlements into the electrification plans, especially those areas that have been properly proclaimed for human settlement. He said Eskom announced in October that it was stepping up efforts to eliminate load reduction by 2027 as South Africa's electricity system stabilizes. Ramokgopa also said Eskom plans to install 6.2 million smart meters over the next 3 years. He added that 250 distributed energy resources will be installed over the next 5 years to bolster supply in remote and high-demand areas. West African crude oil producers are struggling to find buyers for December and January cargoes amid rising competition from cheaper, more readily available alternative suppliers. Analysts say the glut of unsold Nigerian and Angolan crude reflects a broader global oversupply that has weighed on international markets. Brent crude dropped below $60 per barrel this week, hitting its lowest level since May. By Thursday, around 20 million barrels of Nigerian crude for December and January deliveries remained unsold. According to Reuters, Angola's December-January program also still had 5 to 6 cargoes available. The backlog has slowed the start of trading for February categories, or cargoes rather, even though Angola's loading schedule and term nominations have already been released. Such a large amount of unsold oil is unusual, especially for the current month, given that the West African trade cycle is typically closer to 2 months ahead. Estimates for both countries overhang were as high as 40 million barrels earlier this week. Angolan January trade is 20% behind its long-term average space because the world's biggest commodity buyer, China, has switched to cheaper or near alternative grades. Middle East supplies are increasingly displacing medium and heavy density West African grades in Asia as lower official selling prices and shorter shipping distances give them a competitive advantage. In your sports, Proteas women captain Laura Wolfert capped off a historic year for South African cricket with a sublime unbeaten century to lead the Proteas women to a 6-wicket victory over Ireland at the Wanderers on Friday night. The win confirms a 3-0 ODI series whitewash and serves as a formidable statement of intent ahead of the upcoming T20 World Cup, chasing a target of 206. The South African innings was defined by Wolfert's technical excellence and ice-cold composure, while the top and middle order struggled to maintain momentum against a disciplined Irish attack. The skipper remained immovable. Speaking after the match, Wolfert praised the squad's depth. And Tanzanian giants Simba SC have shocked fans of Stellenbosch FC by announcing that they've secured the services of Steve Barker as their new head coach. In a statement released on Friday, Simba announced that Barker will be replacing Dimitar Pandev, who was sacked last month due to poor performance by the club. The Tanzanian club went on to add that Barker will arrive with 4 assistants. Barker's nephew is the nephew of the late Clive Barker, who has been in charge of Stellenbosch FC since 2017, and many had speculated he would be moving on to one of South Africa's bigger clubs after excelling with the Cape Winelands club. Barker's exit leaves Stellenbosch FC facing a defining period, with the questions now being asked about their immediate direction and long-term stability as they battle near the foot of the table. For this and other sports news, tune in to Vuka Sports Hour every weekday at 3 p.m. In your weather, Pretoria will be cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 27 degrees and extensive thunder showers. Johannesburg, cloudy and warm, temperature highs of 25 degrees and extensive thunder showers. Cape Town, sunny and warm, temperature highs of 25 degrees. Durban, partly cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 28 degrees. And Bloemfontein, cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 30 degrees and extensive thunder showers. Polokwane, cloudy and warm, temperature highs of 25 degrees and extensive thunder showers. Uppington, cloudy and extremely hot, temperature highs of 36 degrees and extensive thunder showers. Port Elizabeth, partly cloudy and warm, temperature highs of 25 degrees. And East London, partly cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 26 degrees. For Vuka Online News, I am Mungas Makalima.